Welcome back everyone, Ronan here, and I just want to talk about a couple mods. I had an idea, I put it in Steam. I'm not a modder, I don't really know how the coding works, but I think there's a couple mods that I think, or expansions. I mean, modders don't want to take on a project this big, then maybe somebody that can make money off of it would. In this case, would be for Axis. We're talking expansions, but they probably have theirs already thought of. My idea is a new game plus. Now, if any of you have played, well, most of you probably played RPGs that have new game plus, and to me, those experiences were always pretty good. Let's talk Dark Souls. You can replay. I think it goes to +9. I'm not sure if you can keep going. I've never gotten that far. I've gone to +4, +6, around that range. There's a Shining Force. If you play the Game Boy Advance version, Shining Force can actually allow you to replay up to 25, I think. It's pretty insane, and what I like about it is every time you replay, it makes it harder. Now, some people will ask, I don't think I can show this on here, but well, how do you make that happen? How do you make it make sense? Well, if you go to the last mission, I don't have in this game right now, I may have a video about it. Go to the last fight, go to the Avatar project, in the very last room, I think even the first room, you have these, actually right here, I have it built, don't I? These portals and the shadow chamber. Now, these in theory teleport you somewhere in, well, it teleports you to their base, but they keep getting reinforcements where there's reinforcements coming from. My theory is if you could make a new game plus that every time you assault the Avatar project and you get to the end, then your commander would close that portal, like basically stay behind. I know the game doesn't show you as he stays behind, but so go through or not, but you shut down the portal. That's one portal shut down to another, and I'd like to think of it more than just another base, maybe another dimension. So then when you cross over those 6 that you picked, maybe up the group size to 8, I don't know. There's lots of details to be hashed out, but once you cross, then you start over. It may not be like straight from the beginning. Maybe it's kind of like an alternate dimension where there's already a game going and you're at a certain spot in the game. Could be right at the beginning, could be halfway, could be wherever. And then you do that a certain amount of times. But every time you do this, those 6, you keep what they were wearing. You keep their gear, keep their skills, keep their levels. That's fine. And then the enemy gets harder. It's almost like the enemy would be aware that there's multiple dimensions or multiple areas. They actually keep getting stronger, levels or whatever you make it happen. +1 health every time you do new game plus 1 armor or something. But then if you do +1 armor, eventually it gets way too much to deal with probably. So some fine tweaking would have to happen. So new game plus. If somebody could add that, I think that would be amazing. Another thing I'm thinking, because it goes well with New Game Plus, go to your soldiers. One thing that kind of ticks me off is I have a lot of kernels. I have all these maguses and then more kernels. Then once they're kernels, I don't really use them unless I have a hard mission because I want to level other people. This worked a lot better in the Long War when you had to level other people because you had fatigue. Maybe adding fatigue would actually make you use more players, but then if you do a new game plus where you only carry over 6 characters, that could be a pain in the ass. Then you spend time leveling other people and then you don't have them. Details. Now, look at skills. Yes. So having a way, I would think, to kind of prestige. You get to level a kernel, which is, we'll say this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say you get to level 7, and you would get to prestige, so you get to start over as a, I was gonna say squatty. Yeah, start over as a squatty. Maybe be able to pick your class as the new squatty, and I would say maybe keep a skill. Now, stats may be a problem because if you keep all of your stats, eventually you'll never miss. That could be the appeal because once you start fighting those harder monsters or aliens, then you may need those skills. So you get to, let's say, maybe keep one ability in here, then you prestige, then you lose all the rest, then you start over another class. So let's say you wanted a sniper with, I don't know, faster discharge, then you would have to somehow roll a specialist, get all the way to colonel, keep this one, and then become a sniper, and your sniper has sniper capacitor discharge. It's just an idea off the top of my head. I'm not sure what else would be great, but I know that for a lot of the classes, you may want the shredder. Oh, loadout. So you'd want shredder ammo for a lot of them if you're going with the fact that they're going to have more armor up to a certain limit. Even blast padding, you'd want to have the ability to blast padding for +1 armor. Well, I think by adding the New Game Plus, adding a prestige method, it would make you play a lot longer, and just to get those classes that are like, I guess eventually overpowered, but that is kind of a core of an RPG, even though it's a strategy game. As the game gets harder, you basically need to have characters that are overpowered, because you won't be able to complete the missions when you encounter, maybe we could do the same with the enemies. The enemies could have an extra ability somehow, or grenades or whatever, extra tech. I'm sure with the enemies, extra health, extra damage, extra chance to hit, stuff like that would actually keep the game really hard. I'd like to see how far somebody could get. I mean, there's a lot better players than I am in this game. I'm pretty good, but you know, clearly if you did an Ironman mode of this, it could last you a really long time, especially if you lose one of your colonels you were so proud of. Be interesting. That was my idea. A lot of details and things I didn't even think about, but you know, it'd be neat where you could have a heavy ordnance on everybody, or lots of skills, and if you only get to pick one per prestige, or maybe once it's picked, it's permanent on your character. So essentially you could make yourself a hybrid character however you wanted. In that sense though, you may want to also remove weapon restrictions to whatever class. Maybe opening up the loadouts to have, you can have any weapon, doesn't matter. Maybe to have, anybody can have an alternate weapon. So anybody can have either a sniper pistol or a grenade launcher, or, although grenade launcher would be probably pretty popular, but at least your soldiers, like, when you have a rookie, they don't have an offhand, so you have to reload. I know you can reload and shoot, but what if you wanted to move and shoot your pistol to flank the enemy instead of move and reload and you can't do anything? Maybe remove the sword from the rangers, because to me the sword is not the greatest, because it leaves you in the open. You don't get to pick where you want to go on a double move. What run and gun is for. Maybe you'd want to have run and gun on something else, another character. So I think that'd be kind of neat. Now, as far as how it would work with one of these mags, one of these psyops, I don't know. Maybe eventually, once you've gotten all the skills you wanted to keep, you become a psyop. That's still out of my coding expertise. I have no coding expertise. Let me know what you think. Let me know if this seems like a good idea. Even let me know if it's even possible. I don't know if this is even possible. I'm not a modder.
The aliens have always been monsters.
Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.